I saw A Quiet Place day one. Welcome to Movie World Plus. I'm Andy Signore, and I'm here to review A Quiet Place day one. Can I do it the whole review? No, I won't do it. I'm not going to do it the whole review. But you're going to want to talk that way when you watch this movie, because this franchise has become very clever. These monsters in this movie are scary, and you can't make a noise, and it makes the theater experience that much more fun. Unless you get someone next to you who's eating really loud popcorn. This movie and its sound design are wonderful. And I got to say, I really enjoy this franchise. This is yet another installment in it that I thought was an interesting prequel. Usually I don't like origin story prequels, but it allows them to tell a completely new story with new characters and show you sort of how it started. Now, I don't want to spoil things. It's open today. A lot of you probably already saw it, but slight just frustration in that you're not going to really get like a origin of these creatures. You're just going to get the origin of like sort of the, as the title says, day one when they hit. I think there's still a lot to reveal and explore in this universe, in this world with these creatures. But this one's a very nice installment where you get to focus on two new characters played by Lupita Nyong'o and Joseph Quinn from Stranger Things. And there's other people in there. Alex Wolff and Djimon Hounsou's back as well. You get to have a lot of these characters in this story, and it works on its own. It's a standalone story, but it's part of the greater universe of A Quiet Place. And I got to say, it's exciting. It's well done. And it's a big budget blockbuster, thriller that works. And I think John Krasinski's and his team, the original writers, really stumbled onto something clever here. And now in success, they get to do sort of the big budget version of the first one. And I don't feel like they really turned it into something that's not as good as the original. It's not like it's different. It's different in that the Emily Blunt version, I think, is fantastic. She's so good in that movie. And John Krasinski as well. That story is really about a family in this sort of supernatural world of creatures that, attack you if you make noise. It creates this really interesting premise, and it works. I think the first one is still the best one. The second one I liked it. This one sort of goes a line with the second one, but I don't know if it's as good as the first two Quiet Places, but I still enjoy it. I enjoy it because it makes its own thing, but it lets us learn a little bit more about the world. And the biggest surprise for me is that it also stars a cat. I didn't realize that this whole movie was going to feature Lupita Nyong'o's cat as well, which at times it's like Walking Dead when they had the baby and the baby's always quiet. You're like, come on, this cat's going to stay quiet? Is she? Well, you'll find out. But it only adds to the tension when you have a cat involved and what's going to happen. And yes, the cat's there pretty much the whole time, whether on the leash, in the bag. A big addition to a budget. I'm sure there were times they were running around with a stuffed cat and I just didn't notice it. But that cat is a big part of this film, along with Lupita. And Joseph Quinn becomes another player midway through the film. The two of them go on an adventure as well together. My only conflict with the film, I'm going to give a little bit of a criticism here because I assume some of you have already seen it. You saw it last night. It's got record number opening. It's already beaten the previous franchises through a lot. And last night's opening was really popular. So I'm assuming a lot of you are going to see it today or you're going to see it tomorrow. And my only criticism is I think there was a missed opportunity when these two meet. Again, it's not really a spoiler, just a plot moment in the film. He sort of meets her cat and then follows the cat. And then you never really understand why he's still following her, Lupita. And I was just like sitting there like, man, what an easy fix. If he's like, she's like, stop following me. And he's like, I'm not following you. I'm following your cat. Cats know what to do in crisis. And your cat clearly knows what they're doing. I wish there had been a little bit of a moment of a connection to bring these two together, but once you ignore sort of that they don't really give you one and they become closer, the film follows these two through this world of New York that is now, apocalyptic with these crazy monsters around. And again, you can't make any noise, and that's part of the scare. One of the things I always liked about shows like Walking Dead, it wasn't even really about the zombies. It was about the other people. There's a bigger fear from the people you don't know that can be people you don't trust, that could actually be out to get you or steal your supplies. And in this version of the world, it's not the same thing because they're all really panicking, but the people who panic loudly put everybody else at risk. And so that is a very smart, clever premise that they do take advantage of a couple times in the film. that keeps things more exciting. So yeah, overall, I got to say this was a very a good installment. I didn't think it's the best one, but by no ways am I saying it's not good. I had fun with it. It's a good like hour and 40 minutes. I love these films that come in, stay under 2 hours, deliver a standalone story with good actors, good twists, turns, etc. And this one, I have to say, was a good crowd pleaser. There were definitely some jump scares in the funnest of ways. There were some exciting moments. Probably could have had maybe one more set piece. It would have been even better. Maybe that's why I'm a little bit like not in love with the movie, but I had fun with this movie. And this is the perfect type of movie that we should be seeing more of in the theaters. And it's hard to get these movies in the theaters because you got to win everybody over and create the IP first. And I think this is a world where they've now created a good IP where they can now tell these stories. How many more of these can they do? Look, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they do like a Quiet Place day 50 or day 100. I forget when in the timeline the first two take place. I'm going to rewatch them and get back in because I was interested in revisiting this story. But I could see them using this day one sort of moniker to go through other days in a chronological order to take us through what happened. Could you do day 0 where it's like they figure out where these creatures come from? Could you go through day 200? You fast forward to the future. There's a lot of ways to figure out how this world could still digest, because it's, you know, at the end of this, it's not going to solve any problems. It's going to introduce this world of these creatures, which then proceed to go through A Quiet Place Part 1 and Part 2, where you follow John Krasinski, Emily Blunt, that family. So overall, yeah, look, I got to give this one a thumbs up. I appreciate it. Check it out in the theaters. Definitely see it in the IMAX. Make sure you don't got someone loud next to you. They could ruin it. And if you're a person who goes to the movies and you're a loud movie person, don't be a dick. Be polite. No, you're going to have to be quiet throughout this movie. It's going to be a lot of waiting for sounds. And when they come, it's going to affect you greater. It's really well done. The sound design is amazing. So Quiet Place Day 1, I got to say, I got to rewatch Part 2 before I really rank it. It's definitely not as good as the first one. That bathtub scene with Emily Blunt and just the opening alone and the whole setting of the premise of A Quiet Place, to me, that one's going to be hard to beat. But it's a good enough premise where it works, and I hope you guys check it out. Support the movie theaters. My gosh, do they need it. I didn't give you my Inside Out 2 review. I saw it so late, and then I felt like, well, I missed my mark. But I like that one too. Go check both of those movies out. They're in theaters now. Support your movie theaters. Don't let them die. Don't just watch everything on streaming. It's good to have movie theaters and communal experiences where we as an audience get scared and laugh together. It makes it more effective. Don't just be zoned out at home on your screens. Go out. Get out there. Don't turn into A Quiet Place. Enjoy these amazing community experiences while we can. Go support these movies. We want more of them, not less of them. And then we can stream them later. I hope you guys will support this in the cinemas. Also, if you live in the Phoenix area and you're a horror movie fan, we're going to be at Mad Monster Party on July 12th through the 14th. We'll have a meetup Saturday outside the convention, but we'll also be in the convention a lot throughout the days. Hit us up if you want to try to meet us up there. It's a really good convention. Try to get your tickets. A lot of cool celebrities will be there. You can get signed autographs and cool merch and a lot of other fun things that Mad Monster Party does. Hope to see some of you guys there. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already subscribed here to Movie World, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for all alerts, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below. Appreciate you guys so much. Stay tuned for more here on Movie World Plus.